I hate to break it to you, but you're a hoe. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a few days since I uploaded, I was pretty busy. I did leave you with that one Caitlyn Bennett edit though, which you honestly probably could have gone without seeing, but I tried. Anyways, y'all have heard of Classically Abby, right? That one conservative girl that's been talked about a lot on the internet right now, who's been dubbed as being worse than Girl Defined. That is quite the title. Speaking of which, a Girl Defined video about how to dress modestly during the hot summer months actually popped up in my feed like the other day, and I was genuinely confused. And then I realized, oh yeah, I have a commentary channel, so the videos that I regularly make fun of, and react to are going to be popping up in my feed. Having a commentary channel is ruining my feed. Anyways, Abby would like to have a word with you. She'd like to talk to you about why you should cover up more and stop being such a hoe. I'll let her have the stage.
Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be talking about modesty, why it's important, and why it doesn't mean looking like garbage.
The first thing I notice about her is the way she talks. She talks very clearly, and seems to pronounce like every single consonant of every word. Something that I struggle with. But she also kind of sounds like a robot auditioning to play the part of a Christian housewife or something.
I get the appeal of not wanting to dress modestly all the time. Even for those of us who do dress modestly, sometimes it's hard. It's fun to dress in a way that makes you desirable. It's fun to be noticed. But the question is, who do you want to be desirable to?
Myself?
I do it for the girls and the gays, that's it.
All jokes aside, dress for yourself. Because if you dress the way you want to, it can be a lot of fun. I used to hate shopping growing up, and it was mostly because I was only wearing like t-shirts and jeans, and I didn't really know my style yet. I seriously dressed like trash until 9th grade. And I'm going into my sophomore year of high school, so like a year ago. But then I discovered baggy t-shirts and the men's section. And now I'm very comfortable with my style. Anyways, that being said, obviously Abby's going to advise women to dress for themselves, right? To dress in a way that makes them feel comfortable and confident, right? No matter what anyone else thinks, right?
Modesty is about treating your body with respect.
That sounds like a reasonable thing to say, but it never is. When people like her tell women to respect themselves, they don't mean to take care of your body and know your worth and, feel comfortable in yourself. They mean that your body needs to be hidden and controlled so that men don't get distracted by it. Because a man being attracted to me is a bad thing for some reason. And not only is it a bad thing, but it's my fault and it's my problem to take care of. It's about control, and it always has been.
It's about recognizing reality, that men are visual creatures, not emotional ones.
Ah yes, men don't have emotions. Not only is she reducing women down to their bodies, she's also reducing men down to only their sexuality. Reinforcing the stereotype that men just can't control their outrageous libido. If any of you are here from Jimmy Snow's channel, go ahead and take the shot. You probably already did out of habit. And that women are just here for them to use. That we dress solely for the purpose of seducing them or something. You do realize that women have sex drives too, right? Unless they're asexual, of course. And then men like relationships too. Unless they are aromantic. It isn't just men that are visual creatures. Isn't everyone who feels sexual attraction towards people a visual creature? Has she never looked at somebody and felt attracted to them? This makes no sense.
Dress in a way that's appropriate for the occasion. When you meet a guy and immediately have a connection, you have one chance to make an impression. Do you want him to leave having your body at the forefront of his mind, or you as a person? If you are wearing something incredibly revealing, it will be difficult for him to focus on your personality. Instead, he might be focusing on your physical appeal.
I mean, I've been attracted to people before who I still like talking to. You can admire how attractive you find somebody while still having an emotional connection to them. Isn't that literally how dating works? I mean, I've never dated anybody, and of course I know there are people out there who might just want to use someone for their body, and that's awful. But why are you telling women to cover up as to not distract men? Is she a high school principal? I feel like she is, because I'm not even allowed to show my shoulders at school. Wouldn't want to distract boys from their education. Although I'm around plenty of people at my school that I find pretty gorgeous, and I don't lose focus on my schoolwork because of it. Because I'm a respectful human being and I don't stare them down. Normal people can be attracted to you and still like you at the same time.
But more men will think of you as a sex object if you dress like one than if you dress like a lady.
Wow, okay. If you look at women purely as sex objects because they're showing a bit of skin, maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're reducing them down just their body and you need to stop objectifying people.
But when you dress immodestly, men are wired to have one thing on the brain.
Again, she's insulting both women and men in this video. She's acting as if men are just walking libidos. Yeah, take another shot. And women are just naive and constantly being used by men. Which, yes, you can be taken advantage of by people. But I hate when people act as if women are just dumb and naive and we need to be protected from men. Because guys only want one thing. You hear it all the time growing up. Which doesn't even make any sense because you also hear that girls mature faster than boys. And if anything, wouldn't you be scared of like girls taking advantage of boys since like they mature faster? I don't know, it's all messed up. For the rest of the video, she talks about how you can still be modest and attractive. Which is obviously true. And when you get old, you don't want people just to talk about how hot you were. You want them to talk about your accomplishments as a wife and a mother. Because of course, a woman's value doesn't come from her appearance. It comes from how many babies she's popped out and whether or not she has a husband. Why can't your accomplishments just be like how you treat people and what impact you made on the world? Being a wife and a mother is a great thing, but why is she treating it like it's a standard for womanhood? And why can't I be an accomplished woman and be hot? I mean, at the moment I'm neither of those things, but whatever. What's wrong with that? You gotta be like in her mid-20s or something, but she's still in her like not like other girls phase. She's like, yeah, other girls like wearing 5 pounds of makeup and skimpy clothing, but I respect myself. And as I've said before, I dress pretty modestly. I feel more comfortable just covering up my skin, honestly. I don't really like tight clothing. But you know what? Even though I dress modestly, I still have no respect for myself. So you can't really say that people who dress immodestly just have low self-esteem. Because I dress like a slightly rebellious nun, and my therapist still says that I have clinically low self-esteem. Checkmate. Oh my gosh. She has a video called Why You Should Marry Within Your Faith. Like marrying other Christians or marrying other Muslims or whatever religion you might be. But I read the title as Why You Should Marry Within Your Family and was very concerned for a moment. Oh, she also has a video called Ladies, Stop Hooking Up. Yes, that aggressively. It's only 3 minutes, so we can check it out.
Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about why you should stop hooking up.
She looks so aggressive saying that. Hello, you filthy sluts. Today I'm going to lecture you about your disgusting sex life. Alright, sound good? I can't get over these intros and the way she talks. Does she talk weird or am I just a bully? I don't know.
If you're a woman in 2020, you've heard you need to be empowered. You do you. The patriarchy is holding you back. Sleep with who you want, when you want. But this is a bunch of lies.
Those are lies, I tell you. How dare you do what you want with your life? How dare you make your own choices and feel empowered? How dare you sleep with another consenting adult? Who told you that you have the right to live your life the way you want to as long as you're not hurting anybody else? I'm Abby and I care a lot about what other people are doing in the bedroom. Because that's a completely rational thing to obsess over. Seriously though, why does everyone talk about like progressives as if we're like planning some evil scheme to get women to hook up? That sounded really gay. Someone else sleeping around literally has no effect on me whatsoever. I hope they're being safe and educated while they're doing it, but I'm not going to sit here and lecture a grown woman about what she should and shouldn't do in the bedroom. Because that would be a really weird and creepy thing for me to do. We just want women to feel like they have a choice over their own body and their own life. And for them not to feel ashamed of that choice. That's all.
Maybe you want to hook up with a guy because you care about him and you don't want to let him get away. Sleeping with him is the easiest way for him to take you and your feelings for granted. Holding out will tell you whether he's willing to wait and will tell him that you're worth waiting for.
Again, assuming that men are just horny 24/7 and that women are pure and have no sex drive. Thinking that intimacy is purely for the man's benefit and that the women just have to one day say, ugh, fine, whatever, let's do it. She's assuming that women don't want to hook up and that they're just doing it to please the men. And if someone is only having sex because they're pressured to do so, that's awful and they need to get out of that toxic relationship. But if both parties are communicating with each other and they know what each other want, then sex isn't always the problem.
Maybe you want to have sex with a guy you really like and can see having a future with. Hooking up with him could mask all of the problems in your relationship that would lead to your eventual breakup and just prolong the inevitable. Sex will only muddy the waters and prevent you from making a clear-headed decision.
What? Having sex will prevent you from seeing flaws in the relationship? That's one I haven't heard yet. I can see how if you have a partner who you're extremely sexually compatible with, you might not want to leave them because of that. I guess. I know that probably does happen, but the solution shouldn't be to avoid sex because you don't trust yourself enough to identify an unhealthy relationship. You need to look out for those red flags of toxic relationships, and also listen to your friends and family when they tell you that something's wrong. If everyone around you is telling you that your partner's a dirtbag, then maybe you should analyze your relationship a little bit more. But when somebody's in a toxic or abusive relationship, it's usually because their self-esteem has been worn down by that person. They get to a point where they think that they deserve that mistreatment and that they can't get any better. And even if it isn't toxic, just flawed, you can't rely on intimacy to make your relationship work. You have to be able to acknowledge the fact that your relationship isn't working out, even if you are compatible in other ways.
Maybe you want to have sex because, hey, it's fun. You know what's not fun? STDs, pregnancy scares, waking up next to someone you have no emotional connection with, and wasting your time.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die.
I mean, condoms are a thing. Birth control is a thing, although our government doesn't seem to be too fond of it. And some people don't have an emotional connection to sex. Some people feel like they can't handle anything too serious, like a relationship, and they just want to have some fun. And that's fine. And if somebody hated the feeling of waking up next to someone they didn't know, or they craved an emotional connection, they probably would be actively seeking a relationship and not just hooking up. But not everyone is the same. We don't all want the same thing. Also, some people are aromantic, so what do you say to them? And I love how this video is called Ladies Stop Hooking Up. Not just stop hooking up, but specifically targeted towards ladies. Because, we can't stop the men, they can't control themselves. Purity doesn't apply to them because hookups don't affect them. They don't have that emotional connection like we do. This isn't about the possible negative outcomes of hooking up. It's just about controlling women.
Now let's get the record straight. I'm not saying sex is bad. In fact, sex is wonderful. But sex with the wrong person is not. Sex by itself is nothing. It's regret when the act is done and sadness knowing nothing else will come of it. Love, marriage, a family, a future, all fit in with sex and make sex so much more than a physical act.
I hate when people use the argument of like, oh, I know somebody who had sex before marriage and they regretted it, so it must be bad. I think that if you had sex before marriage and you regret it afterwards, it's not because the sex before marriage is inherently sinful or bad. It's probably because you were taught that it's a sin or that it's dirty. You were seeking something that it wasn't going to give you. Or maybe it was just a mistake and you didn't enjoy it. And that can happen. Definitely be smart when it comes to intimacy. Know what you want, communicate with your partner about it. Be on the same page. But somebody having sex and then regretting it doesn't mean that having sex before marriage is inherently bad. It just means that you had a bad experience with it. And also, not everybody has the same desires. Not everyone wants to get married or have a family. I've honestly never really had a desire to have kids. And, I might get married someday, but if not, I'm fine with being alone. Whatever happens, happens. Yes, you wouldn't be happy hooking up, because that's not what you want to do. Because you want something else. Sexuality and desire isn't just a cookie-cutter thing. Everyone is different.
You know how you crave ice cream, but if you ate ice cream all the time, your healthy lifestyle would go out the window? It's the same with sex.
No, it is not.
That healthy lifestyle you want disappears when you have sex with anyone and everyone, wherever and whenever.
Again, she's assuming that every woman wants the same thing, which is not true. We're all different.
A good guy will wait for you, no matter what. A bad guy won't. When you wait, you respect yourself and your body enough to share it with someone on a healthy timeline.
Say it with me, y'all. Having sex before marriage does not mean you don't respect yourself. Funny how no one ever tells men they need to stop hooking up and they need to respect their bodies. Because a lot of the time, intimacy is seen like something that's for men. And then if a woman does it before marriage, she's giving herself to him. Like sex is her gift to him or something. Not an act for mutual benefit. You're toxic? So that is where we're going to end today's video. I saw a lot of people reacting to these two videos, so I thought I would give my opinion on them. I had a problem with the fact that her videos about hooking up and about modesty were directed only towards women. Like it's our responsibility to keep men in check because they can't control themselves. Isn't it kind of sexist to assume that men just have no self-control? To assume that they're just walking sex drives? It's the same boys will be boys thing. She never says anything to men about why they need to dress modestly or why they need to stop hooking up. She never tells men to save themselves for their wife, to see if a woman really respects them. And I've heard that a lot of women are attracted to men when they're shirtless, for some reason. I don't get it. It's like a flat chest and some narrow hips. What's the attraction? But in that case, shouldn't she tell men to dress modestly so they don't distract women? So they don't tempt women into sin? Anyways, cringe fest right there. Now I'm probably gonna get more of her videos on my feed, unfortunately. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please comment down below with future video suggestions, and I will see you guys next time. Stay safe, y'all.